And here we go. So here we go. We're live now. Sorry about the delay. I hope you were able to stick with me. Um, so we came to you today. We'll put this little webinar together today to try and share some of the things that we experienced in the last crashes and so forth. But more importantly, to show that we're here to support you, and we're all going to get through this. Not only we're going to survive, but we're going to thrive, and we're going to get through this and come out the other side in a better place. So I'm going to go proceed, and if there's any questions going forward, please hold them. You can use the Q&A feature and post them to me, and if there's enough time at the end, I'll go ahead and answer as many as I can. So here we are. 4 months ago, we never heard of coronavirus or COVID-19. And this is so different than what we've ever experienced before. You know, we went through 9/11, the world stopped. The stock market closed, businesses came to a screeching halt, and it almost felt like the end of the world scenario. Well, this COVID-19 and coronavirus just seems like it's on steroids now. Back then in 9/11, we didn't know how to act. We didn't know how to respond. We didn't know what was even important anymore. So we just went on and hoped for the best, and I guess tried to survive as best we could. So we have some lessons from that, and I've incorporated them into this little webinar because I know it's something that helped me survive, helped Lorraine Gregory Communications survive, and many of the competitors that I've talked to, the colleagues that I've talked to rather, have all said that without the plan, we're going to be in big trouble. You know, so 08, 09 and 09 were different, but similar yet. All of us big and small businesses, we took a serious gut punch. And, you know, unfortunately, many businesses closed as a result. But those of us that fought tooth and nail, we adopted what I call now the new normal mentality. I'm sure you've heard it, working harder for less, right? And that was the aftermath of the financial crisis. That may or may not be true, but many businesses did survive. I know we did, and it was not pleasant for sure. Very similar to what we're going through now was the uncertainty of what the future was going to bring. But this is just taking that to a new level. So I want to calm everybody down. We're all in this together. We're going to get through this. It's a matter of having a plan. And I'd like to call this our new plan. I don't know why this is like having a tough time here. Here we go. I call it pivot. And there's a reason that I call it pivot, because it kind of puts in place the pieces of the puzzle that you need to do, all right? You need to plan, you need to initiate and innovate, you need to create value, you have to be very, very conscious of your outcomes, and you have to be, most of all, as tenacious as you possibly can be to stick to your plan. So what do you need to do to make a plan? First, you need to take a breath, all right? It's scary, it's frightening, it's disconcerting in many ways. So just take a breath. Take a breath. You'll get through this. We'll make it. All right. First, you need to put a pen to paper. All right. If you don't have a plan, all right, what's the old saying? If you fail to plan to fail. Well, that's really super important right now. But you're up to this. I know you can do this. And now's the time for you to step up your game. So you got to look at things differently. You can't do the same old. It's not going to work. All right. You need to bump up your game. You need to take this very aggressively and challenge yourself to up your game. All right. you don't know what's going to happen, right? The unknowable, you can't know. So just the plan is going to be your Bible. The plan is going to let you know what steps you want to take, what steps you're going to take, when you're going to take them. But you need to do that while you're paying attention to what's going on outside your business. All right? That'll allow you to adjust as we go forward. But you know what? We're prone to make quick reactions, quick decisions. And I caution you not to do that. Because the decision you make today emotionally is not going to be the right one tomorrow. So the new term around there is called emotional intelligence. We need to plug into that. We need to sit down and quietly think, not react emotionally, but quietly think about how you're going to move the ball. And along with that, you know, you're going to want to do certain things, but don't do anything with a long-term commitment. Don't sign on to anything. Don't write any contracts. Don't do anything until this passes, all right? The situation is going to be fluid. We're not going to know from day to day. We need to plug into the actuality that's going on in the street if we're going to be successful. And I caution you, failure is not an option. You know, when I came into this business, that was my mantra. Failure was not an option. I was going to do whatever it took to make the business successful. And I hope you'll take that same attitude. It's not an option. It's something we need to guard against. We're going to get out of this. I promise you, we're going to get out of this. You just need to stick to it and do the things you know how to do in a different way, maybe. Okay? So now we're going to talk about a little bit about what to do to innovate and to initiate different practices in your business. You know, look at what you're doing now, right? But look at those things that you put on the shelf, especially the big and the bold, aggressive ones. All right, things that you said, oh well, maybe someday. Well, that day's here now. So dust those off. Take a hard look at them. If you got the budget, do it. If you only got a piece of the budget, do that piece, right? But when you're doing this, when you're out there in front of the world, all right, you need to come across as the strongest, most stable and effective player in your industry, in your niche, right? If you're a manufacturer, you need to let people know your machines are still running or will be running or have been converted to government use, all right? But you're there, you're still there. Your people might be working from home, but orders are coming in, inventory is being distributed. So you need to let people know that that's still happening, that you're not dead in the water, okay? In terms of innovation, however, if you haven't done videos, if you haven't written a blog, you haven't done LinkedIn, Facebook, or Instagram, now's the time to double those resources, all right? People need to hear from you. They want to see you. They want you to be there. They know you. And if they don't know you, they should, all right? So we always talk about multiple channels, right? Integrated marketing. Well, now is the time to look for new levels of outreach. One of which I think is really important to you guys would be to explore public relations, all right? Public relations put you out in front of a whole different marketplace, right? So let's say you see one of your competitors out in the press, in media, right? You could be there. You should be there, all right? Under certain circumstances, you could be telling the world that you're part of the story, all right? You should be looking for opportunities to insert yourself into the situation that is helping everybody else, right? Your brand is going to increase. Your visibility is going to increase. People are going to have new respect for your company, all right? So let's say you're doing something extraordinary, like maybe you're doing food drives, or you're collecting vital supplies for healthcare providers, you're feeding hospital workers, first responders. You need to make sure the world knows about it, all right? Don't be shy about being a good corporate citizen and letting people know that you are, all right? Okay, if you don't have a media list or media contacts, all right, you may need some help from a public relations professional, all right? Or you can start building those relationships on your own. But either way, you need to access the media in addition to your online and social media posts, because you'll be reaching a whole new audience that might not know you, and they get to know you through these articles and posts and mentions in the media, online and social media, blogs, everywhere you can possibly be. You want to insert yourself and your company in the current storylines, and you're going to gain greater visibility that way, right? So, okay, value. Let's talk about your value proposition. You got to walk a fine line here because you don't want people to think, all right, that your prices have been too high all along, right? You need to be careful of the offers and the discounts that you present, all right? Because you know what, you don't want to give that impression that only because I'm coming to you with this deep discounted offer is because I'm afraid and I'm desperate for sales. That's not the message you want to put out there. The message you want to put out there is that you've priced your services and products in such a way that is economically valuable for your client and prospect. All right. You're not looking to hit a home run. You're not looking to fleece them because it's a bad situation. You're not price gouging or any other such thing. You're coming off, you have to come off, and you have to be actually willing to help. Your business will survive because you helped. I guarantee it. It will come back to you. All right. So you need to tell people that you've put yourself in a position to help by pricing your products and services accordingly. All right. Again, don't go down the road of 50% discounts and offers that are just like way too much, right? Because it's going to give the wrong message. Your brand message has to be that you're a corporate player, you're a good citizen, you value your customers, you value the service that you give them, the service you give them is priced so that they can access it and benefit themselves, right? It's not about you at this point, it's about the client and the prospect. So we talked about a plan. We talked about how to message some of that plan, how to get it out in front of people. But if you're taking one of those great big efforts that you wanted to do before in that someday scenario and brought it out and put it into place, well, you better monitor it really carefully, okay? Now is not the time to be frivolous or cavalier. I'm sure you're not. I know I'm not. But it goes to say that you have to really be on top of your game. You have to monitor everything, right? You really have to know what each effort you're putting out there, what's the reason? Is it to keep your brand recognized by the public? Is it to lead generate? Or is it to gather new sales? Those are all three different efforts and three different results, and they get monitored differently. So once you need to understand what metrics you're going to use to take a look at your results, is it going to be online analytics on your website? Is it going to be telephone calls received? Is it going to be information requests? Is it going to be sales? And what volume? You need to sit down when you make your plan and say, okay, this element I need to get X from. And as that goes forward, you need to have the metrics in place to be able to check on it, right? All right, if it's not working, you need to make changes, all right? It's one of the things that I said before was that if you're not going to plan, you're going to fail. So let's plan smart. Let's plan in a concrete way, well spelled out, knowing what goes where, when it goes out, how much it's going to cost, and what the results are. Because if you can't measure it, you can't manage it. I mean, you all heard that before, right? But I would say to you that if you do metrics, if you do analytics in the past, I would say to you that you need to tighten up your time frames and you need to tighten up the criteria for what makes a success. You need, let's say you had a 2-week window to produce X, all right? You need to look at that in 1 week. And if it's not producing, at least let you believe it's going to produce X, you need to make the changes then. Don't be afraid to do that. You've been in business for a while now. You know how this works. Just don't let the clock be your guide. The clock is going to be your enemy in this point. You need to be nimble. You need to be able to make changes so that you can move forward and get better results, right? The whole idea is going to be to improve the outcome. If you're not watching the outcome, you're not going to get to the goal that you wanted. You're not going to achieve the goal that you wanted, right? So let's just move on here. And here's the biggest thing that you need to know. You have to be tenacious, right? Not a word that we use all the time, tenacity. But I'm going to tell you, unless you're tenacious about sticking to your plan is going to fall apart. And you'll fail to achieve the results that you hoped for. So you need to be really, really tenacious. You need to be so religious about the plan. You're going to live and breathe that plan for the next period of time. I wish I could tell you how long. All right. But once you have the plan in place, do not deviate or alter it until you see the results start to develop. If the results are weak, make the changes, make that the new plan. It becomes your Bible, your playbook, your lifeline, right? Trust your plan, but monitor it. You know, what did Reagan say? Trust but verify. This is the same scenario. Trust but verify that your plan is working. Importantly, however, because everybody's working, many people are working remote, you need to make sure that everybody in your organization gets it. They know the plan, they understand it, all right, and they get it. And you get 100% buy-in for your plan so that you can initiate, you can create a value proposition that reaches the market and the message that you need to, and that the outcome will not be for naught. All right. Without that 100% buy-in, it will. So we're hoping to get out of this as soon as possible and standing upright and moving forward. 9/11, 2008, 2009, Hurricane Sandy even, were a learning lesson. They were the crucible that taught us how to get through this stuff. With the help of God, the coronavirus will pass. It will be a thing of the past. It'll be something that we'll study for years and years to come in terms of health, in terms of business. But with a little bit of foresight, with the ability to pivot, we'll be able to get through this, right? And I just hope and pray that you all have the best success, that you stay safe and healthy, and that you weather this crisis positively and focused on the future. All right? We survived 9/11 and the financial crash. We survived Sandy, and we'll survive the corona crisis as well. And please be one of those survivors.